Hello everyone! So we will learn how to copy and paste drawings from another file to the new file. So we'll mainly use your existing drawing to practice filling the patterns with your own print design or fill the patterns with the digital images like scanned fabric, scanned fiber, those kind of things. And then finally, we will learn how to use the type tool. Okay, so first thing that we're gonna learn is how you copy the drawings that you previously made and then paste to the new file they create. Okay, so I want you to open the Illustrator file that you have added your flat drawings like this. And then let's open a new file too. And then it's going to be a letter size, 8.511 300 resolution and CMYK. And then so in your like top menu here, you will have the one that you just open as a new file, and then the one that you have the create a file previously. So I will do the zoom in to select. So we will actually use this shirt drawing that you drew a few weeks ago. So what I did is you select the drawing and then Control C. And then come here and then Control V. So because we don't have a template here, you don't really need to add new layers for this, okay? So you don't need to worry about adding a new layer for this. So paste, okay? So this is how you start a new file, but using the old drawings that you draw, okay? So that's how you do. And then let's save as, save to the line sheet 1. So that's going to be the file that you're gonna submit after following this lecture. Okay, so because it's the line sheet that we're gonna create now, we're gonna actually add some colors. So recently in the federal, company, fashion design, fashion companies, like apparel companies, they try to have the fashion flats, which means it's not a really illustrations, it's not really like flat drawings, but they are using flat drawing because it's more likely detail oriented and it has more information in terms of the like patterns and then detailed information. So try to use flat, but at the same time try to add colors or fabric type or prints on the flat, so you know what's produced in terms of the line. Okay, so we're gonna actually create a flat fashion flats for the line sheet today. So first that I'm going to show you is how you create your own prints. So last class we learned how to create your own brushes, right? So it's the similar how to create. So if you do not have this swatch, swatch window open, if you don't, I may close so I can show you. Go to window and select, and then swatches. Okay, so you need to make sure this window is open. And then as a first class for Illustrator, actually we created our own print. Some of you did really well in terms of the considering repeat, in terms of the using good color combination and unique drawing. So if you want to, you can reuse those drawings, but here I'm going to create a new one. One thing that you need to think about is the size-wise. So the space that we wanted to fill our textiles is like this small. So if, for example, our pattern like one repeat is like this big, it might be too big, right? So usually I zoom in, Control plus. So I make actually my screen bigger. And then also I try to put my garments near so I can see kind of the relative size to the print design to the actual garment that I'm going to fill. Okay? So I will kind of draw up, kind of background for my textile. And then because, if we have a stroke for this kind of background, whenever you make a repeat, you will see those lines. We don't want that. So for the background, I have the no stroke. And then I will change the colors. It's kind of the very grayish blue. And then I will use ellipse tool. Actually, I will just use pen tool to draw. I mean, I can draw here directly, but I'm going to move my drawings once I draw. So I will draw like this. And then this. Control plus. I may zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. And then I will do Control C, Control V, and then change. And also I will change the color of this. Escape color of this to blue. And then escape. I wanted to change this color to this blue. And then I will do Control C, Control V. I can use transform tool if it's kind of somewhat regular, but Control C, Control V, because I'm trying to do is try to make a little bit irregular drawings. And then I may try to do that. You can rotate. Okay. And then I may change the color of this. Oops. Slightly to darker. And then I wanted to draw a key. And then this. And then this. And for this one, actually I will add some stroke. Yes, I will actually add some stroke. And even for the stroke, where's my stroke? No stroke option here, stroke. And then we learn how we can make a little bit of the non-uniform. And then I will change the fill, the color, maybe like that, okay? So I will actually do this one as a group, Control C, and then Control V, V, oops, and then B, what I wanted to do, transform, reflect. Actually, I want angle, okay? And you can actually rotate after, you know, oops, Control V, you paste. I may add one more of this, Control V, Control V, oops, Control C, Control V, and then this time I'm going to rotate, and then actually I wanted to rotate like this. Then okay, then I will add some dots. So I will draw one dot, and I don't want any stroke color for this one. And then Control C, Control V, and then actually I will make slightly smaller, and then place it here, and then I will change it to a little bit brighter color, Control C, Control V, and then I will move this one here, and then I will change it to the even brighter colors. Oops. Okay, then I may zoom in a little bit because I want not to move my drawings. Okay, and then I will do group, and then Control C, Control V, oops, Control C, Control V, and then I will place something like that. Oops. Then I may copy of this and then place some in. And also, I'm not really considering the repeat, but you will see how it is kind of repeated. And then actually the background doesn't need to be that big, you know, but if you wanted to have some space between each repeat, you may have the little bit background bigger. Okay, so after you're done with the print design, select everything together and then bring swatches, the patterns. So once you see this plus sign, you can let it go, okay? And because it's just so small, you cannot really see, but you will kind of conform because we're gonna create a line sheet, which means we will need copied flats. So we will do Control C, Control V. Actually, I will use it here so you can see better. And then I will change my line color to black. Oops. I will change my line color to black. And then, okay. So, you will need to fill the space. So, sometimes you have to do the ungroup, and let's see. It depends on how you group the drawings. If you will feel differently. Oops. And then one thing that you need to make sure is this fill window is up. So your pattern that you created will be filled inside, not on the line. Okay, so you make sure this is up. Fill is up. And then this. Not bad, I think. Yeah, I think my drawing is okay. So it filled well. So if you it didn't really feel better. I mean, leave some spot kind of white. You might need to ungroup, and then you know, you may need to fill those areas separately, and then kind of make it overlap. And another thing that I wanted to talk about is the Swatch libraries. And there are pre-existing libraries in the Illustrator, but that's not what I'm actually going to introduce. Rather, once you create your own swatches, if we wanted to keep it and then use in the future, you can actually make it name and then store in the special Swatch library. And then maybe once you wanted to take it out for your line sheet, you can take it out. Okay, so this is the why we created. Okay, so if you double click, oops, it just show how your actually double click is fine. So if you double click those swatches, it shows you how it is repeated. Okay. So it will not show the edges as we remove the stroke line, but it just show you how it is repeated. And so you may name your patterns so you can kind of find it easily. So maybe flower pattern 1, something like that. So it's up to you. So, you know, like blue flower or, you know, like theme 1, theme 2, those kind of thing. It's up to you. And also it shows, I mean, you can have option whether you wanted to repeat as a grid or you wanted to repeat as a, you know, like a brick by row, by half or 2/3, something like that. But I will just keep as a default. And then, yeah, then it's actually saved as a flower pattern 1 as I saved. So once you have many swatches, new swatches made, and then what you can do is you can actually save swatch library as AI or ASE. AI is convenient, like this, and then it will be actually saved as AI, and then you need to really remember where you save. So line sheet. Actually, yeah, line sheet works this time. And then in the future, somehow, let me do that actually. So if I open a new file, and then as you see, once you open a new file, the new swatches that you created will be gone because it's your own, not as a default. You know, so you wanted to maybe open your swatches. So actually, because I just didn't turn off, you know, and then I just use the same computer. So actually, it has under the user defined. But if you don't, maybe use the different computer, then you need to actually make sure you save those, you know, Swatch libraries in your flash drive. So when you click the other libraries, and then you can find to, you know, your Swatch libraries. So you can open and then user defined, and then do you see? Actually, I can combine here. So the drawing, actually I can fill, and then I will change this. Oops. This to this up here, and then yeah, you can find the pattern that you created from the library. So that's how you save your swatches in one place and then open to another file. Okay, so next one that we're gonna do is actually we will create a kind of plate. So plate drawing, okay? So I may zoom in a little bit because I told you whenever I draw a new swatches, I try to, actually I can save to the line sheet of my own Swatch library, kind of built as a Swatch library. So I actually have two Swatch library. One is like before with some, whatever I added or use the color that I added here, or you can add it to your own Swatch library. Okay, so usually I zoom in a little bit and then I will draw a box. And again, I told you usually I make no stroke, so your repeat will not show the lines. And then I will change my background color to the red. Okay. And I will draw a rectangle again, same size with this. And then I will change the color to blue, and then no color, so it's going to be up here. And I may zoom in again because it's repeated whenever repeated, and if there's a small, even it's really small, there's a gap, then you will see those gap. Okay, so we don't want break, and then Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. And then, we use, actually I put the kind of off, on purpose. So I can show you align tool. So I can do Control by Shift key together. You can select, hold the Shift key, select several objects, and then use alignment tool in terms of the left tools, fit, and then I wanted to have a same kind of distribution. Okay. And then actually I will use this transform. So I select 3 together and then I will do the rotation. So I wanted to do rotation of the 90 angle I want copy. And then I may need to reduce the length because the background that I created is not the real rectangle. And I think I used the distance well. And another thing that I wanted to show, if you don't have this transparency window here, you can go to window and then select the transparency, and then make sure you select the one that and then you may reduce the transparency here. And then I may do that for this one too, maybe just a little bit like this. Okay, so it became my flayed drawings. So it's the so I reduced the transparency so you see the little bit of the background colors. And then after you draw a flayed, and then I made, yeah, and then you can add to the original swatches or line sheet. It's up to you. Oops, it didn't add to that. Try to add here, and then I may resave to my line sheet. I think somehow I set up the new added swatches allows. So I put the plus sign here and then double click, and then you can name it or red, something like that. Yeah, and then click, and then let's see how it is repeated. We might need to change, but again, we will have the 3 variations. And then after you select fill, and then let's pick the patterns, and then let's see. Okay, I need to change my line color to black. Yes. I see a little bit of gap. I think because if I go back here, yeah, I think when this one is filled already. Oops. Cancel. Okay. So let's see. Cancel. Yeah. If I zoom in really quick a lot, my actually horizontal lines a little bit smaller B. Do you see here? It's kind of like even like 1/16, slightly bigger here, so it create a gap here. So I mean, I can kind of fit to this, really, and then yeah, this, oops, and then let's see. If I make a pattern, yes, and then I will remove my old one by dragging and trace to the, and then I will do, actually change the line color first, and then Ctrl C, and then Ctrl V, so I can move here, and then let's fill the plate. Oops, I have to make this up, fill it up, and then do, I think I still have some gap. I think it's not the vertical this time, but horizontal line should be fixed too. So actually I will stop here, but I think you get the concept. So as an assignment, I want you to have a third print design of your own, okay? Of your own, and then fill this one, okay? So there should be 3 of these shirts, but 3 kind of textile design variations. So you will need to create your own textile and then fill one. And yes, let's create a creative one, okay? Instead of just a simple one. And then we will use this one for the filling the pattern with actually textile design. I mean the textile, scanned textiles. Okay, so you need to open the files that I uploaded. So you need to go open, and then let's open the Gene3 file. Okay, and so click the scanned images, and then Ctrl C, okay, and then go to the document here, and then Ctrl V, Command V if you're using Mac. And I want a little bit smaller because my drawings this size, and then my print scanned textiles are this size. So I think it's too big. So I will reduce the size a little bit. Then you bring this one, and then do you see the plus sign here on the swatches? Yes. Then let's copy, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and then let's make sure this is up, fill is up, and then click. And because the line that you had is black, so the textile that you filled is kind of black too. So you might need to change the line color is a little bit lighter. So you will show the line, the detail, right? Right. Okay, like this. Okay? So let's practice one more time with some sweater patterns. So once you actually make swatches, you can delete. This time, I want you to open the sweater 2. Not the sweater 2. Sweater 2 is for your practice. But sweater, the purple one. Oh, not here. Sorry. Yeah. So once you open this one, Command C. Okay. If you're using Mac. And then Command V. And then Control minus. And you might need to reduce the scale a lot. And then once you like the size, bring this to the swatches. And then Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Move here. And then apply. Make sure the fill is up. Okay, so once you select this one, make sure fill is up. And then try to apply. And then, your sweaters, not the sweater, shirts is, actually I think for this one, I may change my line color to the different one so it can show better. Okay. So, I uploaded one more sweater swatches, which is sweater 2, which is gray color. So I want you to fill the third shirts with that texture, okay? So in the file, you should have these 6 flats, fashion flat. So these 2, and then third one will be your own. And then third of this shirt variation should be gray sweater texture that I uploaded by using the sweater 2 JPEG file. Okay, so that's going to be your lines here. Okay, so we will learn the type 2, and again, because we are not really using Illustrator to make a kind of layout, it's more likely using the Photoshop. So the type 2 that we're gonna learn today is going to be actually for the label creation in the future, and then like that. So it won't be like for the tech pack. When you take a technical design, actually you will use combination of this Illustrator and then Excel file. So you create a flat drawing with Illustrator and then fill the information with the Excel file. Or if you are using Gerber, then you can actually use that software to fill out the spec or the information about that product in terms of the material, color-wise. But again, we will just learn the basic type tool here. Okay, so it's kind of similar in the Photoshop. So there's a T here, so you will need to click here, and then click T, and then somehow some of you may feel some sort of the like whatever it is in terms of content, so you may drag, and then let's type look 1, and then type, and then flower pattern fabric, and then in terms of the material it's cotton. 100%, something like that. And then you may move the location with this. Again, we will not actually really fill the information with in the Illustrator. So just we are practicing. But, you know, I want you to know about the type tool too. So go to Window, and then if you select the type tool, and then if you click the character, you will actually have a better in terms of the type tool options. So after you type with the selection to selected, I actually type to selected, and then select your type. Oops. I may zoom in, type tool, so T selected, and then drag. And then if you want to change the font or size, you know, if you want to, you can do that. And then you, in terms of the alignment, you can change to the alignment here like this. So you can do actually Control C, Control V, and then change it for different one, or you may, oops, you may do that, retype. So this one is 2, plate, 1 fabric, and then this is like cotton, polyester, blend, something like that. Oops. And yeah. So you may fill the information about your product by using the type tool for these 6 shirts that you draw today. And then I will show you how you can create a like font with the type tool. Okay, so under the type tool, if you click this small triangle around the corner, you will see type tool, type on a path tool, and the vertical type tool. I mean, vertical type tool is, you know, exactly like what it means. You can type the vertically. So we will try type on path tool today. So you will actually need to create a path. So we will draw kind of vertical. Oops. I select the wrong tool. I should use pen tool, click, and then click around here, and then make a curve, and then make a curve. Okay? It won't really matter whether you have fill or no fill, but I will actually change it just to the no fill. And then enter. Once you draw a curved line, select the type on path tool. Okay, type on path tool, and then try to click on the path. Type tool, and then click. Okay, so then you might, I just hit the delete key because it just fill out with the random letters here. So I want to be my title, enjoy spring love. Sorry, my type is so small, I cannot really see, but anyway, I may need to make it bigger. Spring love. Enjoy. I'm sorry, I will fix it, but do you see how and then actually you can change your oops, I need to really pick like this, and then I may change my font. And another thing that I wanted to show you is actually you can fill not just random color, you can actually fill the swatches that you made. So I may, you know, because the size of the line is not that big, but it's not showing really, but I actually fill my letter with the pattern, the swatches that I created, okay? And then, you can actually adjust in terms of the oops, adjust like in terms of the curve, so you may adjust, click the corner, then maybe making a little bit more dramatic, something like that, okay? So this is the another type tool that it's actually only possible in Illustrator. So there is no pass-on type tool in Photoshop. So if you wanted to do this kind of effect, you have to use always like, I think it's just too dramatic, but I think you got the concept of using the type on path tool option here. It's getting actually worse. My curve was actually better at the beginning, but yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, something like that. So this is the type tool. Again, you can fill the swatches that you want, so this and then you can actually make a little bit dramatic kind of the way of the putting your title like this. And yeah, so actually for today it's all. So you should have these 6 flat drawings, fashion flat drawings. So you may finish this one with your own print design, and then finish with this one with the Sweater 2 JPEG file, and then maybe create your own title with the pass-on type tool by using this one, and then try to fill the information of those 6 shirts that you have here, and then submit as a line sheet, and then that's all. And so after today's class, we will actually move on to advanced Photoshop and Illustrator, which means we will actually use both programs interchangeably. So for example, for the layout, we will use Photoshop, and then for the drawing, we will come back to the Illustrator, something like that. So yeah, stay tuned, and hope you are enjoying these new things in Illustrator today, and then I will see you on Monday.